All right, so I just started the recording. We should be rolling. You should see me. Okay, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Greg Shepard. Today we're going to be talking about the BrokerageLink feature of your higher ed retirement plan. By the way, everyone on this webinar should be in higher ed in some form or fashion, at least have access to the retirement plan. I see a number of you still rolling in here, but I got 11 o'clock Central, so we're going to get going. I'm going to get organized here. Let me pull up my screen. Okay, you should see, I recognize some of your names. So if you can't see my screen, I'm going to flip it to a full screen, but I see a number of you trickling in. We're going to get rolling here. Okay, again, everyone on this webinar should be in higher ed, at least have access to the higher ed retirement plan. Today, we're going to talk about BrokerageLink, one feature in your retirement plan. This isn't going to take very long. I've done this spiel a number of times, so I'll kind of roll through this, okay? Like I said, I recognize some of your names. So some of you were on the webinar last month, okay? We talked about Roth 403B. If you don't know what that is, you need to know, okay? These things, these are the most underutilized features in your all's retirement plan, okay? By far, the Roth 403B and the BrokerageLink feature are just fantastic, powerful features that you should be taking advantage of. Okay, today again, we're going to talk about BrokerageLink. If you missed last month's webinar, I'll direct you right here. Podcast. I have a podcast, Higher Ed Retire. My website hosts those podcasts. Drill down on that website, go into that podcast and listen to the episode about Roth 403Bs. I think you'll get a lot of information out of this. Real quick, who am I? Again, Greg Shepard. I do have an investment management firm here in the Kansas City area. Nice sunny day here in Kansas City. I do not work with Fidelity. I do not work for Fidelity. I do not work for TIAA. I do not work for your university. I work in conjunction with TIAA and Fidelity. Again, I have clients all over the country in higher ed. My goal really is to disseminate information to you that you're not going to find just about anywhere else. When you make a phone call to Fidelity or TIAA, or you go to those cattle calls, as I like to call them, at least they used to do them. I don't know if they do them much anymore, where you all get together and talk about the retirement plan. You're not going to really find out about this stuff, okay? So I'm coming from an unbiased perspective. Throw a question up in the Q&A or chat. One of them works. I'm not sure which one. I'll see if I can locate it. The question, I'll get to it as we go along or at the end. By all means, my email is, there it is right here. Shoot me an email after this presentation, after you digest this information. You don't have to be a client of mine for me to help you out. Okay, so I'm going to try, give me a second here, make this into a presentation format. I had problems with this last time. Looks like it might be, you all are more experts at this than I am. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, now I don't see my, okay, I'm gonna kick out of this. I think I might be having problems with this. Okay, we're going to stick to this format here. It's not the best. Make it a little bigger here. Okay, let's roll with this. This is what we're gonna go with. I won't get into the nuances and the details of last month's failure. Okay, BrokerageLink. Okay, let's get going here. We're going to talk about 3 ways to improve your retirement plan utilizing this BrokerageLink feature. First, what is BrokerageLink? Okay, good question. BrokerageLink is nothing more, how I explain it, it's nothing more than an investment window, an investment portal. Think of it this way. Your money goes from your payroll down to your current, we'll use 403B account right now, for example, but this applies to 401A, 403B, 457 at most institutions. I see a lot of names here. I know you're at the University of Nebraska. Gosh, I just helped someone out not that long ago. Correct me if I'm wrong in the Q&A or chat, but your BrokerageLink feature is going to be introduced to your system, I think in November. So this is great information for what's coming your way soon. You may have it right now in your 403B. I'm not positive on that, but at least in the 401A, you're going to have access to this. So keep that in mind as I go through this. So what is BrokerageLink? it opens up this window of investment selections. What do I mean by that? Right now, your money is going to, if you do nothing, your money is going to the default fund, which is some sort of target date fund. You'll notice a year at the end of that investment. That year should be when you turn 65, I think, okay? So that investment gets more conservative as you get older. It's one investment made up of a bunch of different mutual funds. Then you'll have, I call that tier one. Then you have tier two, okay, which is your core investments. A lot of you out there, Kansas Board of Regents, ABOR, Arizona Board of Regents, Missouri System, Nebraska, let's see, Texas, Oklahoma, you're all on this webinar. You have a core investment selection where they'll give you your university, basically. They'll give you 20 to 30 different investments you can choose from, mutual funds. Both on the stock side and the bond side might have a fixed investment in there as well. Okay, a fixed guarantee account, at least on the TIAA side for sure. All right, that's tier two. Tier three is what we're talking about here. Okay, BrokerageLink. Now there might be different synonyms for it: self-directed account, self-directed BrokerageLink, but that's what we're talking about here. It's your third option. Your money will go from your 403B to your BrokerageLink account. Okay, so you actually have two. We're using 403B here. You'll actually have two 403Bs. One account will have basically $0 in it. Your 403B BrokerageLink will have all the money. And that's where you choose these investments that we're going to get into here in a bit. Not the actual investments, but just hang tight here. So 3 ways to improve that retirement plan of yours utilizing BrokerageLink. First way is lower your costs. Okay, I've got a slide on what I mean by that. Invest in sectors. Okay, again, I'll get into that. You can broaden that investment selection, which is number 3. Increase your investment selection. Folks, we're talking about the core side. Remember, that's tier 2. You have about 20 to 30 different investment selection, 20 to 30 different mutual funds to choose from. Inside the BrokerageLink account, thousands. Free of charge, okay? Free of charge. Let's touch upon how you lower your costs. So this is a real life example. This is a client, and I have University of blank here. Fill in the blank. This is actually a case scenario from Nebraska, I believe, that we're going to utilize. Okay, so I might get the university wrong. It doesn't matter. Okay, so her default investment, she did nothing. Okay, her default investment was T. Rowe Price 2050. She's younger, so she's turned 65 a number of years out. The expense ratio on that investment, every investment you get into has an expense associated with it. I can't tell you how many times I ask folks in higher ed, what's the cost of the investment that you're in? And they say, oh, nothing, the university takes care of it. No, okay? If nothing's for free out there, okay? Nothing's for free. This particular investment is made up of it's an aggressive investment, basically 0% bonds and the rest of it in stocks, made up right here. 60% US, 30% international, 5% small. So what we did, in order to lower her costs, we funneled her money to BrokerageLink, okay? We used index funds, as indicated here. And we divvied up the BrokerageLink account virtually the same as this T. Rowe Price 2050 in terms of stocks, bonds, international, mid, small, and all that fun stuff. Take a look at this. Check this out. Large cap growth, we got into a 0.03 large value, international. You get the story here. We knocked her expenses down to around 0.03%. Folks, I should be done right here, okay? Well, I always use the analogy of like, I don't know, a cable bill, Netflix bill. If you could pay Netflix bill for $40 a month, or your Netflix bill for $10 a month, which one are you going to choose? It's the same. Which one are you going to choose? Okay. I mean, I can't make it any simpler than that. Why wouldn't you look into this to lower those expenses? Okay. let's move on. I don't see any questions. Pretty simple stuff so far. Nope, no questions. Okay. Sectors. Okay. One of my favorite parts of BrokerageLink is, again, it opens that window, thousands of investments to choose from, but you can invest in just about any sector you can think of. There's been a lot of demand around the green energy, green/alternative energy investments, especially with what's going on through Congress, looking to pass some legislation into law around funding some of this stuff. But above and beyond that, if you're looking at healthcare, technology, real estate, as I say here, I literally haven't found a sector that we can't invest in. So semiconductors, I mean, you can just go down the list, okay? If you can think of a sector, most likely we can get into it. Of course, this is not investment advice, but I think I have here, let's see. Yeah, 401A, I'm getting to that next. I don't know what that is. Get out of there. Okay, so let's just get into it right now. But let me go back here, okay? Using this brokerage link, again, let's back up a little bit. Through your core account, again, 20 to 30 different investment choices. You're not gonna have a healthcare fund, most likely. I haven't run across it, but I can't guarantee that. You're not gonna have a technology fund, okay? You'll have a growth on the small and mid-size and large size. You're not gonna have a fund that specializes in only tech or healthcare type companies. You do in BrokerageLink. Now, here we go. One thing I get pushback, I have gotten pushback before in the past, is that if you go on your website and you read the synopsis or the summary of the self-directed brokerage link option, it's going to have all these words, and then in some of those words will say that it may charge you a fee of, a variation of that. Basically, there's some costs associated with BrokerageLink. Folks, I've been doing BrokerageLink for as long as it's been around, and I've never paid a dime to invest in an investment, okay? We're talking about ticket charges. Now, there are some investments inside BrokerageLink where you would pay a fee. Guess what? Don't buy those, okay? I mean, come on. Right here, there's more than you'll ever need for free. I've never paid for an investment in BrokerageLink, and it's never hurt us in any manner, okay? Now, for those of you that have a 401A, the party's just beginning, right? Because you have access to ETFs. If you don't know what an ETF is, Google it, okay? I'm not going to spend time getting into what an ETF is. I'm not recommending them. I'm not recommending them. It's an investment. It stands for exchange traded funds. I believe it's an excellent way to invest in sectors in a fairly inexpensive, a very inexpensive way, if you know what you're doing, okay? So the 401A plans actually broaden your scope, broaden the investment selection to mutual funds and ETFs. I can't guarantee every 401A, at least the 401As that I've dealt with, we do have access to ETFs. So if you know what that is, it's an advantage to you, okay? I don't see, nope, no questions, huh? This is the easiest webinar I've ever done. Okay. The logistics, again, I kind of went over this earlier, but let me explain how this works. It's not, y'all can figure it out. So most of you are getting paid monthly, okay? So your deferrals are going from your paycheck down to your, what I call core 403B. Inside that 403B, there's an actual investment selection called BrokerageLink. So all you do is put 100% of your future monies going to BrokerageLink, and you can transfer your current monies as well, by the way. All right, same process. So your money's going to go from your paycheck to your 403B or 457 or 401A, and then automatically go down to that brokerage link where you will predetermine what the investment selections are inside that BrokerageLink account. Remember, you're going to have two accounts: the normal core 403B and the brokerage link. Okay, when Fidelity sends you a statement, I say Fidelity. By the way, that's the vendor I use mostly. TIAA and Fidelity, that dominate the higher ed space when it comes to retirement plans. for reasons I specify in my podcast episodes, one of them, I always use Fidelity if I have the choice, okay? Again, I don't work for them. I have no dog in the fight. I just like certain things of Fidelity better than TIAA, especially when it comes to BrokerageLink. So when Fidelity sends you a statement, you're actually going to see 2 accounts on that statement. Now, well, let me read what I have here. At the bottom here, if you can't figure it out, and it can get a little confusing, just call Fidelity or TIAA and they will walk you through it. They do a good job of helping you out. Of course, I'm always available as well, right? Shoot me an email. Again, you don't have to be a client of mine for me to help you out. I get these emails all the time. It takes me 10 seconds, okay, to tell you what to do, or a phone number to call or something like that, all right? Even if you're not a client of mine, okay? Any questions on that? I know I'm rolling through this. I've done this a few times. And typically they're in person. I haven't done that in a while. Okay, no questions. Next slide. Oh, okay, what do I fit in? Let's go back to this first slide. Again, I do this for a living. I help folks just like yourself with what I said, what I talked about here in this webinar, with other things as well. But make sure your retirement plan is as efficient and you're getting the most out of it as you can. Roth 403B, BrokerageLink, difference between 403B, 457. You all probably don't know all those things. I do. I do charge a fee. Okay, if you want to use my services, the most I charge, make sure I articulate this correctly. The most I charge is 1% of the account value that I'm managing. That fee comes out of your account. You're not writing me a check. Okay, that's the most I charge. Fee goes down the more assets you have with me. There's retirement planning, all kinds of fun stuff associated with that. Okay, I don't want to get into that too much. What we could do is simply, I have software that shows you exactly what your portfolio is compared to what I would do for you. And by the way, the fee should not be something that scares you off, because look at this. This person, we basically saved her 0.3% right off the bat. Okay, maybe 0.25, whatever the case is. So obviously net, my fee goes down a little bit from there. So we can knock your your fees down right off the bat. Email me is the best way, greg@shepardfinancial.com. Also, I encourage you highly to check out this podcast. There's a lot of episodes that would certainly help you out. Next month, I'm doing a webinar. Oh, I've got a list here. We're going to go into, I get a lot of questions on rollover 40. So an old 403B, what are you going to do with that? An old employer. Okay, my opinion is you roll it over to an IRA. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of taking that money, rolling it over to an IRA, or rolling it over to your current employer plan if they allow it, or just leaving it alone. Okay, that's next month's webinar. Keep an eye out for that. I'll leave it open for 10 seconds here for any questions. You got to be kidding me. No questions, huh? Nope, you're welcome. All right, there's something. Nope, no questions. All right. Well, reach out to me if you didn't want to ask a question here, or you digest something and you want to ask a question later. Okay, folks, I appreciate your time. This is Greg Shepard with S&A Financial Services. Hey, I'll see you next month, I hope. Take care. Bye-bye.